Hey babes, it is Friday and I like to talk about all the things, all the fun things on Friday. And today we're going to talk about how to activate your desire. How can you actively do more things to just re-tap into your sensuality to create a more even flow of, being in the mood, right? So as you come in, feel free to say hi. Let me know that you are here. I love to know where you are tuning in from. If this is your first time seeing me, hi and welcome to my page. My name is Portia. I'm a sensual empowerment coach for women and a yoni practitioner, helping women find their orgasm and take care of their sacred spaces. So welcome to my page. I know I have a lot of new friends. I'm so excited that you're here. So how can you activate more? Hi, how are you, babe? How's it going? How's your Friday? How was your week? Let me know your celebrations. I love to hear all the good things. We have enough of the bad stuff on our timelines. Let's talk about some good stuff. So how can you activate more of your sensual goddess and bring her into presence, especially when, things are a little rocky, you're kind of feeling low on the libido scale. How can you activate? How can you activate? Hi, Nicole. How are you? Ooh, Texas. How is it down there? I heard a couple of people missed the hurricane. I heard a couple of people, got hit, and hopefully everybody is safe and all right. But yeah, let's talk about the activation of your sensual goddess, okay? First thing I usually have most of my clients do is sit down and take a second to think about why you're not in the mood, okay? Like, why are you never in the mood? And not to in a way that like makes you feel guilty or shame. I really invite you. It's hot here too, babe. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was 105, and that was like a light day today. It's been like 116, 115. It's been hot. So I feel you. But what ways can you really think why you do not want to have sex? What is really making you feel like you don't want it? Do sometimes you want it? Is there sometimes that, in particular that you find you may be more exhausted, or maybe you're a little overwhelmed? Maybe you just have so much going on, you just don't think about it. Maybe there was some past experiences that really made you not like it as much. Maybe it's been a while since you and your partner actually engaged in like fun activities and made sex more fun than a chore. Maybe you want to try new things and your partner's just not up for it. Like, really, what has made you feel that, you just don't want to have it anymore? Starting with some journaling prompts with that can be really, really helpful, and it'll help you realize. And the key to journaling is just having awareness, right? So it helps us have some awareness so that we can say, oh, okay, that's what came up for me. Because sometimes we don't really know, like, there's so much going on up here. We just got to get it on paper so we can kind of just like get rid of the debris and like focus on what we need to do. And that journaling is like one of my saving graces. So ask yourself, like, why not? And then ask yourself, like, what do I need to feel in the mood? What would really help me? Do I need more help around the house? Do I need to feel more appreciated? Do I need to feel more heard? Do I need to cuddle without feeling like I need to have sex? Is there some way that I can feel more in the mood? Or maybe I just need more me time. Okay? How many of us had some me time this week? Okay? So I hope the weekend gives you some time to yourself, because that is the key component, again, to having desire. When you feel stressed, overwhelmed, overworked, you're not going to feel horny. It's just not how it works. You can't be like, or you're going to be like doing the things and thinking about everything else that you got going on. So if you have like one of those wandering brains, if it's really hard for you to focus, I really invite you to journal it out, get it out, okay? My next thing is like decompression before you get to the fun stuff, right? A lot of times we're trying to come from, working, dealing with the kids, and then straight into dealing with, the things. And so at the end of the day, you have to have some time where you decompress so that you can show up in your sensual goddess. So you got to refuel it before you go. Like, you can't just go from, dishes and all the things that you got to do around the house, and then all of a sudden you're supposed to go right into the bedroom and just be like, I'm on fire. Like, no, you're tired. You need a moment you can go say, hey, babe, I can't wait to just dive in this with you, but I just need a second where I can just woosah. I just give me like 30 minutes in the shower so I can just do my thing. Because you need to have a moment of decompression. So then, you got to ask yourself, who are you showing up as when you go into the bedroom? if you're tired, if you're wore out, if you're exhausted, maybe you need to try a different night when you're more alive and ready to do the things. And maybe you do want to do the things, but you just need a moment of decompression. So decompress, okay? Decompress. Even I have like meditation sometimes before I do the things. I need a moment to meditate, just like, whoo, get it out. then I'll be right. Then I'll be present for you. And presence and all the beautiful things and alive and awake is like really important when it comes to having sex, right? Right? Are you following me here? So I wrote some other couple of things down. Orgasmic breathing, okay? Orgasmic breathing is huge. And I teach a lot of this inside of my Fire Tribe. If you're not part of the Fire Tribe, let me know. I'll be dropping a link below. Orgasmic breathing with actual Kegel pulses of the yoni actually causes circulation and blood flow to the vagina. Hopefully Facebook doesn't smack me for that. I've been real careful on Facebook lately. But what that does is circulation and blood flow is going to help cause, anytime circulation and blood flow comes inside the yoni, it literally helps with arousal states, right? You have to have circulation and blood flow in order to be aroused. And so if you do little pulsations with some orgasmic breathing, it's really, really beautiful. I even sometimes listen to orgasmic music, which is beautiful. I don't know if you've ever made love to orgasmic music, but it's become one of my favorite things. I don't know what it is about hearing other people get it on, but it's actually pretty nice. And you can actually find it on like a tantric channel, or you can find like different ones for like orgasmic breathing or orgasmic meditation on YouTube. And it's really, really amazing. I actually do have some orgasmic meditations for women if you have a little hard time connecting to the yoni, which brings me to my next point. If you don't actively talk to your yoni and connect with her daily, it's going to be really hard to feel aroused because you're disconnected. So many women are disconnected from their yoni that they don't even recognize it, right? So it's just really important that you treat her like your best friend. She's a very important piece to your arousal. She's a very important piece to your life. So it's really important that you take the time to connect with her. One of my favorite connection practices is just to sit with her, put your hand over her, and speak beautiful words into her. I love you. Thank you for performing. Thank you for performing well. Thank you for being healthy. Thank you for being here. Like, you got to treat, like, just like a plant, right? If you were to talk to a plant in like beautiful ways, or you talk to your spouse in beautiful ways, they just thrive. So get used to just tapping into her, and she will speak to you too, because our womb is a very sacred space. And the more that you allow yourself to connect to that, the more that you will have a presence with her. Okay. And so one of my favorite books that I love, it is actually called Pea Journals. You can actually find it on Amazon. I'll put the link for it below. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And it talks all about the connection. Because society has taught us that connecting to our yoni is like crazy. But it's very, very important that you and her are besties. Okay. So connecting to your yoni, speaking life into her, connecting with her. Like I said, asking her, what does she need? I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you it is one of the best things that you can do for your sacred space and for your libido, okay? Another thing is always ask yourself, where do I feel like I can talk to my partner about the things that I like in the bedroom? I would say a huge number of women really don't like to say what they like in the bedroom, and then the men don't even know that they don't like it. They're like, I never knew you didn't like it like that. And I'm not saying like you have to go to him and be like, well, you've been doing this for years and I never really liked it. I'm just saying, like, help your partner understand. There are some ways that maybe he can, or some new things that you want to try, like bringing toys into the bedroom. I know a lot of men tend to have their own thoughts about that, but if you really focus like on couples toys or stuff that's less like abrasive, and like don't come in there with the 8-inch, slinger, like, hey, I had an idea. Because that's probably not a good idea. It's going to be like, what in the heck? You know what I mean? So or maybe even go to, like I said, I really, really think it's beautiful for couples to go to sex stores and just kind of see what you both are into and just kind of, explore in those ways. Because a lot of times we're not getting what we want in the bedroom, but we're too afraid to say what we want to say out of fear of hurting our partner's, feelings. So I really invite you to just take a second and say, hey, I would really love to try, even if it's something like naked twister or cooking together and like feeding each other. Maybe it's an erotic massage, which I have a whole tutorial on how to do a tantric massage inside the tribe. And it's just, some things, sometimes you just need a reawakening of like your sensual energy, and you're just tired of doing the same positions all the time. So like just maybe there's some things that have been in the back of your mind, or maybe there's some things that have been on the back of his mind, and you guys can come together in a conscious container and talk about those things. Okay? But the biggest component too that I think a lot of women kind of miss out too is bringing pleasure into your life every day. And no, that doesn't mean you have to have sex every day. It actually means like you can be orgasmic on so many different levels. Like pleasure can come from food. Pleasure can come from doing more of what you love, exercising, eating good. It can come from laughing. It can come from dancing. Like we have the sensual dance classes. We do all the things that really tie into pleasure, and it's really about orgasming on every level of life, right? A lot of times we hear pleasure and we just think about sex, and that's not exactly how life is. It's really how pleasure works. It really is about like connecting to the things that bring you pleasure on an everyday like occurrence, right? So if it's just sitting on your porch, drinking a White Claw, then if that brings you pleasure, then that's great. If it's literally like, putting a beautiful essential oils all over your body and just having some time to yourself and reading a good book, really think about what brings you pleasure and do more of that. Bring your sensuality to yourself. You know what I mean? Like sleep naked more, wear lacy underwear, like do the things that make you feel beautiful on the inside. And maybe it's wearing like, your favorite monster truck rally t-shirt, whatever makes you feel sexy. I'm not saying, it's lace for me. I like lace, I'm really girly, but some of us are, a little like not, so girly, or maybe we're just really girly and we like, monster truck t-shirts. If that makes you feel sexy, then do more of that. And if you don't know what makes you feel sexy anymore, go back and think of a time when you felt really sexy and try to pull that into your presence. So if it's the red lipstick, if it's the knee highs, if it's the, used to like to be spanked, whatever it is, bring more of that into your presence more often so that you can start to rewire the subconscious to not think about like pressure or I don't want to do the things when it comes to, sex. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. As somebody who's had children, my last child, my libido kind of like plummeted after being like really high. It was like, so I had to really, really work on an everyday practice to bring pleasure into my life. Really work on really loving my body and cultivating that bedroom confidence. And a lot of us just need to understand that it takes time. You're not going to just miraculously just one day wake up and have all the desire. But if you just do little by little, step by step, you'll get there, right? And that just drives me to my last point, which is grace. Like, give yourself some grace, okay? Don't force yourself to have sex. If you don't want to do it, you need to talk to your partner and figure out where the disconnection is happening and where you guys can reconnect in more beautiful, more profound ways. And how are you creating intimacy outside of the bedroom is usually a lot of women's like, thing. Does he help you with the dishes? Does he help you with the kids? Do you feel like you can talk to him and he can hold space for you when you're not in the best moods, right? A man holding space for you, I just love that. So sometimes, our partners don't really know how to do that. And so sometimes they're just waiting for that conversation. But if you don't feel respected, you don't feel heard, you don't feel held, it's going to be really hard for you to feel horny. So these are conversations that you need to have, and then you can get your freak on. I actually have a course that I'm going to be teaching next month that's going to be talking about teaching couples, and especially on the men counterparts, how to really bring that out of their woman and how to hold space for them in a sexual container so that they can try all the things and can, because we just need a little love, and then we'll do the things within our boundaries, right? So hopefully you find this helpful. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.